right. Friday, Friday Night Lights Day. We're excited. Yeah. Yep. Both of you guys. We're excited for to talk to Coach today, Coach Barfield. As always, I'm Coach Human. I'm here with Coach D on the Prospect Podcast. And we're really we're gonna dive in with Coach about some upstate New York football. Coach is not just the head football coach, but he's also the offensive coordinator there as well, and has really been building up a program at over in Cortland High School, which I guess that's where Cortland State is too, right?
Yeah. So Cortland State's actually like 5 minutes outside of my classroom. So if you walk out of my classroom and just walk down the street, it's maybe a 30-minute walk.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. And how long have you been in at Cortland so far, coaching?
So this is actually my first year at Cortland. So
this is your first year at Cortland. So let me have you dive into your background leading up to coming into Cortland and your playing background. So just kind of get everybody up to date on that.
Yeah, 1,000%. So originally I'm from South Carolina. That's where my accent's from. Originally I'm from South Carolina. Grew up in a small town called Scranton, South Carolina. Oftentimes gets confused with Scranton, Pennsylvania. But grew up in Scranton, South Carolina. Went to Lake City High School. Played offensive line, defensive line. Got my start in coaching in South Carolina at Trinity Collegiate School, which is a collegiate prep school down there in South Carolina. They've won multiple state titles in the football realm and other sports as well. My wife's actually from this area of New York. So a few years ago, we decided to start venturing up north a little bit more. Found myself in Delaware. I coached at Delaware Military Academy for a small time, and coached at Thomas McCain High School for a small time. Then actually ended up in Jersey. I actually ended up finding myself in the college world going to Sussex Community College. I was out at Sussex Community College for about a year or two up under James Robertson, and did some cool things up there. And then this past winter rolled around, and my wife was like, hey, like, we're not too far from, home for her. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. She's like, what do you think about moving back up there? And I was like, hey, let's do it. And, the good Lord, he set a path and set a plan. And, whenever we made the decision to move up here, the head coaching job came open up here at Cortland. And, she's an alum of Cortland, and, things just kind of fell into place.
Wow. That's an interesting story. Really interesting. Wow. Okay. So you've been around. You were at Sussex Community in Jersey. You were Delaware Military. You're down in South Carolina. Talk about what the change has been from other places you've been coming up to Cortland.
Sorry, say that one more time.
The change that has been from being at different places throughout the country, Delaware, New Jersey, South Carolina, and then coming up to Cortland. Like, what are some of the things that are different from where you were before or to where you're at now?
Man, honestly, compared to down south, being up north, it's a whole different world. Coach and I were talking about that before we hopped on, and it's just a whole different world. Down south, football is kind of like going to church on Sunday.
Right.
Football on Friday nights is just something you don't miss. And the more north we got, the more it's lacrosse is the big thing, baseball is the big thing, basketball is the big thing, and football isn't the top priority for a lot of schools and a lot of programs. In Delaware, I think Delaware's doing a tremendous job of, trying to prioritize football more and trying to push it and how, big it is, because, they're starting to produce more and more talent within Delaware that's going to the league and whatnot. But once I got up here to New York, I started realizing, I'm like, okay, football's not king up here in New York, which is okay. But it's definitely, the culture is a lot different around the sport up here. I will also say that down south, the playing style is a lot different down south. You're going to see a lot more smash mouth, power type of football, wing tee, eye pro, stuff like that. You come up here, you're coming into RPO world, and you're coming into spreading it out, and you'll see a few teams, run the power eye and whatnot. But for the most part, since I got in like Jersey, even up here in New York, it's spreading out, RPO them to death.
Interesting. And when you came in, what was the state of the program where you came in there? And, what did you kind of have to do? And there weren't any things you had to really change and adapt?
Yeah, man. So the last head coach, excuse me, he's now over in Massachusetts. He's an offense coordinator at a Catholic school over there now, and he did a tremendous job, really building this program up. Back whenever my wife was in, high school, Cortland was a football school. Over the next 15 or so years, not so much. Things kind of went downhill, and Brett did a great job of laying the foundation for the program. Got him back to, he won, I believe he won 3 games his first season, and then his second season, which was his last one here last year. They ended up winning, I want to say 3 games again. No, it was 3 games, then forfeit. Then they went to the playoffs and they lost in playoffs. But that was the first time, the program went to a playoff game in like, I want to say maybe 15, 16 years, something like that. So he did a tremendous job laying the foundation for the program. I think a lot of the big things that I've had to clean up coming in is just the structure and the organization, and trying to make it like this legit powerhouse of a program that I want it to become in the future. Just building more structure onto what was already laid.
Okay, so building the foundation. When did your first year? So when did you arrive? Did you arrive in have you had time to really work with them from that standpoint, or?
Yeah, so that was kind of the challenge. I interviewed. The job came open in March. I interviewed in May, and then they finally passed my hiring in like mid-June. And by that point, my wife and I had already relocated up here. And with the school system, it has to go through a whole system, for approval and whatnot. They finally approved me about midsummer, and we kind of hit the ground running from there. So I've only been around the kids since probably mid-June. Which is a little less time than I would like, going into my first season with them. But at the end of the day, you make best with what you got, and you work with what you got.
Yeah, I think that too. Like when you get, and it's obviously, I'm sure, frustrating after interviewing, at one point, and then it just takes all that time where you're kind of just sitting there and your wheels are spinning. You want to get on campus and you want to be around the kids and you want to start setting the structure up for this is how we're going to do things, because it's going to be a bit of an overhaul, right? And you kind of want to get in there and get things going. What do you think was one of the key elements when you finally did get in? Like, what was the first thing that you did when you got in the building? You were finally able to get there.
Man, once I finally got here, it was very important for me to just get all the kids together and meet with the kids, and kind of lay my expectations out as a head coach. Me being from the South and football being the king. I told the kids, I was like, hey man, like I know Cortland hasn't been the top dog in years. Like I think you have to go back to like maybe the 60s whenever they were top dog. Because we do have one undefeated season in our history. It was in 1958. So I think you probably got to go back to like the 60s or the 70s, to see whenever they were top dog. And I'm like, I'm trying to get us back there. Like I want to be back there.
Right.
It just really land once again the effort foundation. Kind of like laying the expectation and foundation out there. Like, hey, I'm coming in. This is how we're going to do things. This is the standard. The standard's the standard. It doesn't change for anybody. It doesn't matter what you did with the last head coach. It doesn't matter what you did, last year. What matters is what you do today.
Yeah, I think that's huge. That's big. That's big when you kind of give those kids, let them know, hey, this is a blank slate. You know what I mean? Like, because some guys, have preconceived notions as to what they are, who they are. And within the team, right, like the kids know, hey, this guy was this last year. That doesn't mean that that's how it's going to be this year, right? You're getting a whole new start. Here's where it goes. And then, now you can move forward. That's really, I think that's something, because I obviously been part of a couple changes and things like that. But like, it's really interesting how you see kids start to kind of buy in a little bit more when you let them know, hey man, I don't care about what you did in the past, like you have a blank slate. And then some guys that rubs them the wrong way because, they may have been a different way in good graces, or may have been something and now it's a change. So that maturation process is an interesting one to deal with when you walk in that building.
Oh yeah, dude, 1,000%. And honestly, I would be lying if I sat here and said that there's been no pushback. I'd be lying if I sat here and said that there's been no kind of struggle here and there. Because I was talking, we had a staff meeting the other night, and I brought it up, and the last head coach, he was this young 20-year-old dude, and here I am in my mid-30s. It's two different mindsets. From two different parts of the world, and for some of the kids, it's culture shock. For some of our younger guys, they love it because they see where it's going in the future. But a lot of our older guys, who was part of the old head coach's regime, they're used to how he was and how things were then.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes in. Yeah, this guy comes in and he's changing everything my senior year, and now it's just like headbutting sometimes.
Yeah, well, you're flipping the culture. And so that's always an issue. What is the balancing act of that for you? Like, how do you manage that part of it?
Yeah, honestly, I try my best to always ask the guys, like, hey, if what we're doing is not working, or you're not picking up on it or understanding it, I get it. This is a great example. Our wristband system. With me, I like to do signals a lot. I'll have a wristband there just in case they need it. But I found out last year what they did was they had a color and the number. With me, I just give a signal, and then it's usually just a straight number. We switched over to the color and the number, and it's been a whole lot easier for them to just go through the wristband now. So a lot of times I'll just bring up, I'm like, hey, what did you guys do last year that you liked? What did you guys do last year that made you comfortable? And if it's something that aligns with my vision and my morals and my values as a head coach, I don't mind implementing it. Especially if it's going to make them more comfortable and buy in a little bit more.
Right, because now it feels like they're a part of the process, right? And it's not just this, hit my way or the highway type of thing. You're giving them kind of ownership within it, right? We see that a lot with kids today, right? It's really is funny how little of something you can kind of make them responsible for, or make it like, hey, this is your idea, guys, when really, you already had it planned, but it's buy it. And that's really what it is in terms of, and I'm not sure of your numbers. What are your numbers like, Coach? Like, how big of a program are you?
Oh man, we're sitting right around 38 kids, which is
okay
size. It's okay size. We're in section 2 in a B division. We go up against teams that play 50, 60 guys. They got 50 to 60 guys, and this is our first year in this section. So that's kind of also been the big challenge with being my first year here. We're moving into a harder division and or a harder section, and it's part of playing tougher talent, playing harder talent, while also trying to build numbers within so we can compete with that talent.
Yeah, I think that's so is that 38 varsity? It's not counting freshmen.
Yeah. So that's 38 varsity.
Yeah,
Our modified, which is like our JV up here, is I want to say we're around 49.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So the future is bright for Cortland football, for sure. I'm doing everything I can to pour into the modified teams and the younger dudes. My head coach for modified, Pete Jackson, he's a wonderful guy, wonderful head coach. He deserves so much praise because he does so much for me. He's doing a tremendous job with those kids, getting them ready for me, and I'm excited for the future.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. So it's what's that?
Yeah, I said that's exciting. That's exciting when you have, because we know how those younger groups are, right? Whether it's junior varsity or freshman or a sophomore team, depending on what you have and what it is. I mean, to me, those guys, it's why I love coaching the JV. It's because that's your future, and those poor kids, for the most part, literally just get the shit beat out of them all week. Scout team or doing this or doing that. They feel like that, and that sophomore year, it's like one of the biggest maturation years as like a human being. On top of now, you don't really have the role that, hey, you've always played football. Maybe you're running around on a special team. For you with less numbers, like some of those guys might be playing pivotal roles as a younger kid. So to pour into them and then have coaches that really buy into that, right? Because the guy who runs your scout team, irregardless, like that guy needs to be praised in every way, shape, or form for what it is and how that works. Because if you're not giving that good look to the older guys, like during the week, like, you know, we're not out here brothering it, you know, where, you know, you're just letting a guy do whatever. Like, you gotta work. And that's a tough balance too, especially when you're trying to implement everything else within a culture to be like, hey, you know, how do we get our numbers to continue to build, right? And the program now, like, we have a bigger number of freshmen, right? So what we've done is we've literally divided it into like 2 teams, and they're playing 2 games a week, right? There's a pseudo A freshman team, a pseudo B freshman team, and they're going to teams each week so that we can get guys playing time. Like, right? We all want to win, but at the end of the day, it's about retention. I want those, you know, out of 30 of those freshmen, I'd love for all 30 to be back next year, right? Like that's the goal, right? Like, push those kids from freshman year through so that they all now are seniors, right? And then if you hit on that, like, to me, that's how it shows success within a program. I mean, that's a big piece of it, is how do my numbers, like, they came in with 30 as freshmen, and now there's, you know, we still have 20 something seniors, right? Like, that's big. And that's how you can really gauge it. In my eyes, I think that's important.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And it's funny, man. Every time I come home frustrated from a practice or frustrated from a game or whatever, you know, my wife, bless her heart, she's my rock, dude. I'm telling you, because she reminds me, she's like, she always tells me, she's like, you know what? In 5 years, that's going to tell what your program is. She's like, just remember,
absolutely,
5 years, that's what's going to be the telling of a Mike Barfield program.
No doubt. I mean, I think that's definitely the key part of it. Just is building. I've been there.
Dave's been there. Dave's been there. Dave's taken over some wicked spots. I mean,
and you're like
wicked spots.
You go through and you just kind of, you got to just keep plugging away, and then you keep taking each step and you take the wins. And I don't mean the wins in the field. I mean like the wins, like where they're improving, or we used to say the game's getting away because until you get to a certain point, you're continually working on improving the program and improving the players, and the games are there. You know, you're getting judged on your games, but it's hard to get judged on your games until you know, for you as a coach, until you get to a certain point within the program where you're like, okay, now we're starting to make progress. Now I can be judged on what our performance is because we're starting to get to a certain level. That was always how I kind of always approached it. And, but it's hard because when you know, if you take over a program from somebody else, like, not everybody wants to go through those pains. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a difficult part, because sometimes you have the older kids that you want their buy-in, but it's hard to get their full buy-in as much as you can get your freshmen's buy-in when you're in the first year, and then you can just, you know, you have to everybody has to be integrated, but they're also separated at the same time, and that's always a difficult process in the beginning. What do you like? I saw you have like am I correct? You have a gigantic offensive lineman.
Yeah, dude, Cole Meeker. Yeah,
6'9", 290 pounds. What year is he?
Well, now he's 6'10", 305.
Oh my God!
Holy shit!
6'10", 305. Yeah. He's a junior.
Man.
Yeah. You'll have him for the. Does he play tackle for you or what?
Tackle.
He has to be the biggest lineman, at least height wise, that there is in New York. Basketball player.
I am telling you, this kid to be 6'10", 300 pounds, he's the goofiest kid you will ever meet in your life. I love him to death, but he's just a giant goofball. I love him to death. He's a giant goofball, man. I'm telling you, he's a great kid. And his recruiting is definitely getting picked up very quickly.
Yeah.
I know Syracuse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Syracuse is looking out pretty hard. So I know Fran Brown is trying to make his way down to a game. I think he's actually coming down in a few weeks, if I'm not wrong.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And look, coach, that's great for you too. Like, right. Like it only takes one of those guys to come down to see a game for the administration to be like, whoa, like, okay, like something here. Like we haven't had this in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's also, I think, excellent that you have one of the best Division III programs facility wise, you know, on top of it, like literally down the road, so that some of those guys, it's like, hey man, like, you know, this is where we're at. Plus, for you, having been in so many spots, your network, right, to get those guys out of upstate New York, or, you know, if guys want to go and play football somewhere else, hey, man, I mean, and you kind of have your hat in a lot of different worlds in terms of different states. I mean, you know, the JUCO world, which, look, we're Jersey guys. We understand what Sussex community is, man. And, I mean, that's a wild spot, brother. I give you credit for even sticking that thing out. Your wife is probably a gem if she went with you through that. Because it's got a whole different world when it comes to it. But I really think that's a key part, not only for administrators, but parents as well, to see that, like, hey, here's this kid. This is our year. And look, this is a FBS head coach that's already coming to a game, which, you know, you can kind of let him know, like, that's not the norm, right? Like, he might be in the school or having conversations with these guys, but he's going to show face here. That's really, really big. What's your schedule like, coach? I know you said that you played a bunch of teams and you kind of bumping up to a division and whatnot. What does it around you look like in terms of, you know, upstate New York football?
Forgive me, you cut out like towards
I'm sorry. With the like the teams that you play, like what is that like? What's your division like? What's your conference like? I know you said you just do you have rivalry games? You know, kind of what's your schedule look like?
Yeah, man. We'll get to our rival here in a second. But yeah, dude, we play a lot of big teams. We travel a lot. So you know, we have teams like, for example, we're playing Chittenango tonight. They're a solid team. We played Verona Cheryl, I think I'm saying that right. We played them last week. Hell of a team, man. I'm telling you, Coach McCoy, he's got a hell of a crew out there. You know, both staff wise and player wise, man. They could run power and counter like it's nobody's business. I'm telling you, like I was impressed with how well they ran the ball on us last week. We also play South Jefferson, which I'm actually connected and good friends with their JV head coach. You know, South Jefferson is a hell of a program as well. We play Indian River. It's funny. I come up here to New York, and I'm talking to my buddy Dave, who coaches at South Jefferson, and he's talking about Indian River this, Indian River that, Indian River this. He's like, yeah, Indian River still runs a double wing from 1940 something, and I'm like, all right, I got to turn the film on, bro. I'm telling you, you think Cole's huge? Like, these kids are massive. Like, their line is massive. Like they're legit, like a good crew to play against. Then of course I can't leave Homer off of our list. Homer is our rival. So fun fact, Homer is actually 5 minutes removed from Cortland, and the only thing that separates us is a bridge.
Nice.
Yeah. So Homer is our rival. So we will be going to their house this year.
So a true rival, literally, geographically.
True rival. Yeah, it's the town next door, man. It's the town next door, and I love it. I love it. And it's the funniest thing because, you know, my wife being from the area, she would always bring up Homer. And my in-laws worked for the school district, for the Cortland school district. My father-in-law was a elementary school principal for like 40 years. And, you know, my mother-in-law worked in the school district office for like 40 years as well. And whenever, you know, I started dating my wife and I met my in-laws for the first time and all that stuff, we drove through Homer, and my father-in-law would go, Homer. And like, I didn't get it at the time, but now that I'm in the position I'm in, I'm like, every time I drive by, I'm Homer. I get it. So it's a true rivalry, man. And I love it, especially me being from South Carolina, how tight South Carolina and Clemson is with the Gamecock and Clemson Tiger rivalry. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think are the next steps of things you got to continue to do to improve the program?
Keep kids bought in, because I will say I've already said this, within the past 25 minutes. Moving up to a whole nother section your first year as a head coach, new school, new to the state. The only reason why people even know me is due to my wife's last name. Eyes are already on you. Especially with the kids in the hallways, man, the eyes are on you with the kids. And I think really we just got to keep the buy-in high because we're playing harder teams. There's no doubt about it. We're playing harder teams and we're playing tougher competition. And, some kids that scares, that scares some kids away. It truthfully does. But just getting the buy-in there, showing that, hey, we're building towards something great, just wait it out. Just give it a little bit more time. Let's just keep laying the bricks. I think that's the big thing. Just keep the writing on the wall for the kids and, keep selling the dream. One thing that's really hard to do in the world of sales and business is just like selling something that you don't have physical proof of or a physical product to sell somebody, right? Whenever you can sell a dream to somebody and sell like a future to somebody, that's huge, especially with kids. Because I'm learning with kids these days, a lot of kids love to be part of something that's already built. They don't like to build things. So whenever you can really hype up the process of, hey, dude, you can be part of something that you built. How cool is that? Like, you are the reason this happens. You are the reason why things are the way it is. How cool is that? Nobody else can take that from you. So it's really just selling the dream of building something great here. I think that's the next process. Just keep that dream alive, keep that vision alive.
Well, I think that's a huge thing. Being able to keep the vision in the right direction, making sure they're as bought in as they can, understanding patience is the key, and just trying to be the best that you can be, not what anybody else but yourself, but what you can be, and I think that makes a big difference. Is there a so you said that they moved you to a new division? What do? They rotate the strength of schedule? Is that what they do up in upstate?
So what we were in was more of like a developmental division. That's the way I like to explain it. So there's like a division within the section where they drop you down whenever you're trying to build numbers up and you're trying to build the program up. So it's like we graduated from that.
Yeah,
got it.
And listen, to be honest, Dave, I mean, we talk about this stuff all the time. Like, that's a great way to do it, because what's the other alternative to that, right? like, you just continue to get hammered and then the numbers really deplete, and before you know it, you don't have football, right? And that's kind of, they do the same type of thing here in D.C. And Dave's been a part of programs that have literally dropped to only basically playing a sub-varsity schedule or a JV schedule, and then went back and, the next year he got back to varsity, they're in the state finals, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it helps at the moment. Those kids, they don't understand that. But it's like, hey, this is for the good of the group. This is for the good of the program. And then eventually, now look at you, right? Like, now you do have to play these hammers. And that's where it kind of separates the men from the boys. When it comes to it, like you said, some guys want to be a part of that smoke and some guys want none of that smoke. It's difficult. And you have to do some things as a coach to kind of figure that out, right, before you're dialing it up in a real game. And that's difficult as well, to kind of how do I handle this? Or, hey, administration, because that's where it all starts. They're going to give you either the green light or the red light on some things. And some of those times it's like, hey, we need to do this. We need to get this done this way. And that's hard, right? So obviously, I'm sure you wouldn't have taken a job backing of a really good administration that's kind of all in. Dave can attest to it, because we've been together at some places where it was like, hey, anything we tried to do was no go or push back, and we were scratching for every little inch that we could. But the better places that we've been, we're like, hey, you guys, I hired you guys for a reason, go do it.
Yep. So I will say I have a great administration, both on the academic side and the athletic side. So I will say that. Funny enough, on the academic side, my boss was trained by my father-in-law. So there's a little tie in there. Yeah, there's a little tie in there. But I will say with Cortland not being a football powerhouse, for decades and decades, I've came in with some ideas and some plans that, it's like, what do you mean? We've never done that before. Guys, I can't even tell you the look on my face or even explain the look on my face whenever 3 weeks ago, I was like, hey, are we having a pep rally today? They're like, we don't do pep rallies. I'm like, what? I was like,
yeah.
Excuse me? They're like, yeah, we don't do pep rallies. I'm like, okay, we're changing that next year.
Right.
But yeah, like there's just a lot of things that's like, hey, like I want to introduce this and I want to bring this in. And they're like, well, we've never done that before. I'm like, cool, let's figure it out.
Right.
Right. I think it's important to do that. I think you have to figure out, what you continue to do to improve the program and try different things, non-traditional things to get you to that standpoint. It's what do you guys do you have a system that you run specifically on offense or defense that you like to hang your hat on, or?
Yeah. Offensively, I try to do like the power spread. Ideally that's my bread and butter. Unfortunately, I don't really, other than Cole, I don't really have the interior lineman to really, have the physicality of a puller. So I've been pulling my tackles more than anything this season. Doing tackle trap, doing tackle power type of stuff. But traditionally, it's more of like power spread type of stuff. I like to try to spread guys out, empty the box, and kind of just run it down your throat.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What are you like? What do you think? Like from a training standpoint, day to day, what does that look like for your program? Like, how do you guys operate during the week with lifting and training and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, man. So I will say one of the positive things about coming in, whenever I came in was during my interview. I don't know if you guys have done like research on me or anything, but like I have a big strength and conditioning background.
Yes,
and,
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I got a big strength and conditioning background. And during my interview, they were like, "Yeah, like we're building like a $1.2 million weight room," and I was like,
"You're like, oh, bonus, yeah. You're like, oh, bonus,
yeah, I'm here for it." Unfortunately, the production on that has been a lot slower than I could have wished. It just opened like last week. So we haven't really been able to get to the weight room too much during the season, just due to facilities, being under construction and whatnot.
Wow, that's a killer.
Yeah, that's a killer. Yeah. So our summer lift has been at one of our alums, Caleb Wright. He's a wonderful guy, wonderful dude. He works for slipping me. He works for Cornell. He works for Cornell, but he owns a gym up here. He does some strength and conditioning stuff for us off site. So we've been able to do that during the summer, but during the season we haven't been able to lift at all, really, just due to the construction. So yeah. It's been
so what do you do? Do you do stuff on the field? What do you do to be able to compensate for that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So on Monday, we tend to have more of like a mental focus day, clean up our mental errors, clean up our mental mistakes, do some conditioning. We'll do some plyometric stuff on the field as well, just trying to get some lactic acid out of the muscles and get it out of the system from the past Friday night. Then Tuesday, we're usually full go. Wednesday, we are uppers. Thursday, we're walkthrough again. Friday's game day. Then Saturday, we do film that morning. Then we do have like a small, or we did, because it's no longer open anymore because we got rid of it with the new facility. We did have like a small weight room that's like the size of like a broom closet, almost. I kid you not. It's like the size of a broom closet. So we would rotate guys.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, man, dude, we would rotate guys. Okay, Biggs, you're in the broom closet. Skills, you're in film, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we rotate them on Saturday morning for like a 30-minute quick lift type of deal. But like, now that we have our actual full facilities, we're utilizing it, Mondays and Saturdays. So we're definitely we're getting 2 lifts in a week, and that's been a funny thing to kind of introduce as well, because some kids are like, yeah, like I can't lift the day after a game, I'm too sore and all this stuff. I was like, bro, Jalen Hurts was lifting after every game in Oklahoma. Like, just go look it up.
Yeah, they're getting after it. It's always that happy balance. I mean, look, for us, Dave and I literally had this conversation yesterday, because we go through it every year. You're always trying to find because you'd love to have them 3 days a week, right? And, for the most part, the schedule, it's like, hey, because we play our sub-varsity or our JV games on Mondays, right? So varsity guys, everybody will get a lift on a Saturday after game. Monday, varsity guys will get another lift in, but those JV guys are playing, right? So when do they get their second lift in, right? So what we do is on Tuesday, when those other guys, we have meetings before every. Now I'm fortunate that where I'm at is the bell rings to get out of school at 1:30. So it's huge. And then so Tuesdays the jizzle lift while those other guys are watching more film on the opponent or getting some offense or defensive type things. And then Wednesday they'll all get another lift, right? And but all are lifted 4 days a week and pre-game day. Game day, they'll go in there and they'll get a 15-minute quick hitter.
Nice.
It's awesome to see it happen, right? Because they're freshmen. They're just okay, whatever. So to see that development though, but it's always tricky to when can you get those lifts in? They work so hard in the off season to build up all that stuff. And as a strength and conditioning guy, you get it, right? Now all of a sudden you get to week 4 right about now. And it's well, coach, I'm not as strong as I was. Yeah, well, we're not getting after it like we used to. And those lifts now need to be very specific for what we're trying to do. In terms of, I don't want to burn you out. I don't want to crush you, right? I don't want you sore. But if you're continuing to do that stuff on a consistent basis, that soreness, it's not like the soreness as if you're never doing it, right? It kind of goes away. But you kind of have to trick them into understanding that process and tell it hey, you'll see it. You're going to see it. You're going to be stronger than those guys you're playing against because they're only getting one a week or some of those things. Is that something that with your new facility opening up, what is that going to look like for you guys in terms of your strength and conditioning aspect of the program? Is that going to be a big foundational part moving forward now that you're in the building established, kind of moving forward?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And it's funny you bring that up because that's actually starting next Friday. Because we're away today and they're wrapping up some stuff in the weight room so we can use it the second. But it'll be good to go next week. Next Friday we're home. And we get out at 2:23, so that's whenever our last class of the day ends. 2:23, 2:30. You're reporting to the weight room. Thankfully, our locker room is right next door to the weight room. You're reporting to the weight room. 2:30. We're lifting 2:30 to 3:30. We're going to go into a meeting, in between that session. So whenever skills are lifting, the bigs are in meetings. Whenever bigs are lifting, skills are in meetings. We're going to take that hour, get a quick lift in, get some film, a little bit more film in, get a meeting in, and prep for game time, which is at 6:30. So we'll probably start prepping for game time around 4:00. But yeah, no, that's definitely going to be a big component now that we can actually get into our facilities, which is wonderful. We have beautiful facilities now. The school district in the state of New York has really blessed us with the funding that they gave us for that. So we're definitely trying to make athletics more of a focal point here.
Does New York have any limitations on things you guys can do and can't do during a year?
So during the summer, not only during the summer, but if it's outside of season, anytime we have a practice, it has to be open to the public. So little Johnny or little Timmy can walk on to that practice and practice with us. Even if they don't go to the school, they can still walk onto that field and practice with us.
Interesting.
So yeah, man.
That's wild.
Yeah. So we have to label things as open sessions or open practices. So legit anybody can come out from anywhere. They can come out.
Can an old man come out there?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, coach. You can totally come and line up in the A gap if you want to.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's wild, dude. That's what. So you go and host. So you say, all right, I'm gonna run, a workout for my football team, and we're gonna be, doing 7-on-7. and you could be out there with all your guys, most likely will be, but some random kid wants to come out there and just be there. He would be allowed to be there.
Yep.
So wild.
Yeah, man, dude. Hey,
Dude.
I'm telling you. If I
listen for the coach for the school that I'm at, if I did that, dude, there would be a lot of varsity jackets hung up on the fence, and these fuckers would be out there try to dial it up, because the school that I'm at, it's a traditional place, man. It's one of the winningest head coaches in the history of the state of New Jersey. I'm telling you, that fence is aligned varsity jackets from a long time ago. There's a lot of banners, whatever. It's still kind of one of those places. If I had an open sessions, literally, I swear to God, there would be dudes from every generation go back that would be there. Right, as it is, there's guys that still sit in the stands and watch practice. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those spots that's unreal to hear. And obviously, you coming from now, South Carolina has spring, correct?
Yep.
But New York does not. Am I correct in that? They're like Jersey with that. We don't have spring football. I know we don't. Obviously, I mean, and it's something it's always tough, right? Because especially when you've been, that's like a staple of the program. Do you have spring? Are you good? Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah. Sorry, my AirPods.
No, you're good. You're good, buddy. Do you have spring football in New York? No, right?
No. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't. Down south, that's a big deal. Down south, spring ball is huge, man, because that's the first look you get with who you potentially might have. That's whenever you can recruit the hallway the hardest. That's whenever you can try and get the one kid that was cut from the basketball team to try to come out and be your ex or whatever. It's spring ball is one of those things that I wish we did more of up here, but we just don't.
Very, very interesting. And you were going to say before, so if you did something, what would happen with if you did the practice, the workout in the off season?
So yeah, I was about to make the joke. If I ever see a kid that I don't know that's at an open practice, my very first question is, "Hey, do you go to Homer?" If they go to Homer, I'm like, "Cool, you can't be here."
Yeah. Well, right, that would be a wild thing too, right? Somewhere else, exactly. Right? That's so funny.
Hey, Dave, kind of piggybacking off of that, Dave, what does it look like, Mike, in terms of the transfer world for you within high school? Because it's obviously a thing. We see it in college, the transfer portal and whatnot. It's trickled down. They've put some stipulations and rules in place here in Jersey where, you get a one-time free transfer rule. As long as you're not a senior. If you're going into your senior year, you automatically have to sit 4 games, and then you can dial it up and go. What does that world look like for you in New York?
Yeah, I will say where I'm at is pretty locked tight, because you can't play Cortland sports unless you go to a Cortland school, and we're the only high school in the district.
There you go.
It's either you're part of Cortland or you're not. So there's no black and white. So for example, I can't go over to South Jefferson and try to get a kid to come from South Jefferson over here. I will say where we are is pretty locked tight with that, just due to how the district is laid out, and we're the only high school. There's, I want to say, maybe 3 elementary schools and 2 middle schools. Then we have our own middle school, which I'm a teacher in, which is connected.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. So, you're in the middle. Oh, you're in the middle. That's awesome. That's a whole different type of bonus.
That's where all these gray hairs come from.
Yeah, but hey, listen, we all the middle school. I get Dave's just entering that world. He's got a son who's 10. He's just entering. Oh man, it gets. I taught middle school for a couple years. Holy, it is a different world, dude. It is a different world. Man. But it's also great because, that's where those kids can now first see, oh, wow, this guy's the head football coach, right? And you can get tabs on, who's who, right? And it's why I love the staff that I'm on now. We have 2 or 3 guys that are assistant coaches, not only football, but, wrestling as well. And some do hoops, right? And they teach in the middle school. which is it's just a game changer when it comes to building and sustaining. I think your staff needs to be made up of some of those guys. They need to see those guys in that middle school, like, oh, this guy's the head coach at at the high school. Like that adds a different element. This is the real deal type stuff. That's awesome. Teaching middle school, but that's a different beast, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Whenever people will say, "Coach, you look tired," I'm like, "Yeah, man, I deal with 12-year-olds all day."
Yeah,
there's no doubt. That's true.
These cats are different.
There's no doubt. Really interesting stuff. It's been great having you on, talking some football, taking the time to have you come on and talk about the program and keep building and brick by brick. It's I'll share with you. I coached a team that was probably 10 times worse than anything that you could have taken over. and the guy who hired me when I got the job, he said, "I'm only going to offer you the job if you're willing to stay for at least 5 years." And that at the time was like, now obviously I could have left, you know what I mean? But he was trying to get like a certain level of commitment. He said, you're going to think you're going to turn it around real quick, but it's going to take time here. And I said, oh yeah. Now, so I said, yeah, absolutely. Immediately I was thinking, all right, yeah, third year I'll be, completely turned around. We had to go JV our second year because we didn't have there wasn't like a lot of kids in between the freshman and senior classes, and then we slowly built it. And the fifth year we were in the state championship. So, and it was a very, very long road, but it was really incredibly rewarding because you literally it was your thumbprint and the coaches who coached with you's thumbprint, and especially the coaches that made it through, because a lot of coaches didn't make it through. Like I always say, like there were there's quite a few coaches that by the second year, third year, like they didn't have the vision. The assistants were gone. Some of those assistants were gone, But the guys that did make it through, they still talk about it to this day. And all these other coaches have been on lots of championship teams since.
Tell them your Hall of Fame story, buddy. Like, I don't say that. I mean, that's important, dude. That's a key part of that. Like
the players came, and it was quite a few players came, but it was it's hard to explain to anybody else that unless they go through that experience. The coaches that went through the experience within the players that went through that experience, especially the kids, like I had kids that started from the time they were freshmen because we were that bad, and they started, but by the time they were seniors, they were in that state championship game, and those kids, they knew what it was like to go 1-9. You know what I mean? Yeah. They knew what it was like, but they also knew what it was like to play in the state championship game. It's it's something that they'll take with them forever. And the coaches that, like I said, like one of my line coach, he's won like numerous championships and different things since then. But to this day, it's still like his most rewarding experience, because he's been places since then that were, once you get to a certain level, you're not going into a lot of like rebuilding. He's kind of getting hired into decent situations and they're winning right away. And it's great. And he loves it. But the building it from scratch was really rewarding. So when times are tough, just keep fighting, because eventually it turns, and you'll see when it turns, it starts to turn. When you start to see it really start to turn, you're like, oh, okay. And, and I think players like your 6'9" linemen, those are key guys, because I had kids even my first year, even when the team was bad, like my tackle went to UPenn. He was 6'5", and he had a lot of success. I had another kid that went to New Haven that first year. They had a lot of success individually on a team that wasn't that good, but but we tried to make sure that each guy, we rewarded everybody as we were building the team. We didn't forget about the individual too. So, and I think that helped the kids get along in that process, which was good because, you kind of have to, you have to convince kids on keep fighting even when, they may not be a champion, right? And today's world, it's even harder than, when I was doing it 15 years ago. It's even harder now because they got more and more instant gratification things. So just stick with it, keep fighting a good fight, and it'll get there, man. It'll get there. So
I appreciate that.
That's my only advice because I've been there and I know what it's like. And but it is really it's I mean, to me, to this day, like,
it's tough.
I can't even explain it. There's no one to explain it. Like any coach, most coaches have been in good situations and or even if they come in middle of the road situations and now they're kind of putting their stamp on it and they're taking it to the next level. It's hard when you're near, you're really building from scratch. Not that there wasn't things there, but building from scratch, meaning like mentality wise, and taking them to that next level. And but it's the most rewarding thing. Like, I mean, I don't have to explain it to even though it's hard for me to explain it to people. It's there's nothing like it, and those kids know that there's nothing like it. The ones who are in it, who did it, the ones who did it, like, there's nothing those kids can't tackle. And as adults, they're kids. They're in their 30s now, but there's nothing they can't tackle. And I've seen it in their own lives, like some of the things that happened, and they've stayed so close with each other too. That's the amazing thing. Like high school, a lot of times kids go on their separate way. They go to college. Some guy, you get clusters of people that stay friends. Like these guys have stayed friends. Like it's crazy how good, no matter where they all have gone off, they've stayed friends. So I think that's the most rewarding thing, and that's what that's why you take over a rebuild.
That's right, man.
That's why you take it over, because otherwise, you're a crazy person.
Coach, so some people call us crazy for taking over rebuilds.
That's right.
Yeah,
so people do. I took that job. I tell this. I don't know if I told Derek this story. There was an old timer. He just, I think, retired a handful of years ago, but he had been through all the programs. Like he's probably now in his mid 70s. When I was there, he's probably was in his early 60s. But he was there from like the 1970s. He was at different places that were really good programs, and he's been at this place forever. And I get done with my interview, and the interview went great, and I'm still kind of hesitant, but he comes up and we walk up to this parking lot, and he looks out and on this patch of grass, and he goes, "All this could be yours." And I was like, "Oh, what?" It was literally grass. There was no lines. It was just grass. Okay. And I laughed, but I'm like, you know what? If somebody could have that positive a view of something, I'm like that. I looked at it like, what the heck is this? I'm in a parking lot in grass, and he had such a positive outlook. I'm like, maybe these kids are kids that he believes in. Maybe there's something there. And he was right. There wasn't that many people that have bought into it. It hasn't had a lot of success since, but it was a great experience. And I think that if you approach it that way, it'll be a good experience for you too. So, anyway,
1,000%. Well, hey, I hate to cut us off. I got to get ready for my next class here in like 2 or 3 minutes. So,
all right, appreciate you, Coach. Good luck tonight, man. We'll talk to you if we can do anything for you. Let us know, man. Good luck, man. Thanks.
1,000%. Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much, and happy Friday to you.
All right, bye.
You got it, buddy.
That was great. Good job.
It's always interesting to talk to some of those guys. But I knew,
like, first 2 scores, he's got a long road. So,
but I said, and I knew, I knew, like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew he was a first year going to it, and I wanted to, like, you know what I mean, kind of, you know, I knew you'd give him a couple things that, like, hey man, like, it gets better, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure right now it's kind of that whole, like, damn man, no matter what I do, it's this, it's that. It's like, just keep pounding the pavement, man, right? Like, trust in the process, understand what you're doing is all the right stuff for the kids within the program, and there's going to be a lot of outside noise and all that other kind of stuff, man, but just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, hold the kids accountable, keep the standard high, and the other stuff, it'll take care of it. It'll take care of itself.
What is this lockjaw?
How about
stuff,
that?
by the way, what is this lockjaw? Okay.
What do you mean?
What is the lockjaw thing that you posted about? What is that in the way?
What did I post? What did I post? So the clip can it's magnetized, so the clip sticks right on the rack.
Those are clips.
Those are Dave, that's the new clips for the end of the weight room now. There's no more of the like the metal squeeze, like whatever, like the little clips go on the end. Yeah, and it locks it in, but where do I put them? Or, you know, they're at the end of a bar or whatever. So some genius was like, hey, let's just magnetize them. And it's like, shit, dude, like that's such an easy fix. Like,
it's a great idea.
You know? Oh, it's phenomenal, dude. So I'm like, oh, hell, like, shit, here we go, you know? Because I grabbed a bunch of them off freaking team. Because it's the only spot I could find that are green. So I got a bunch of those green clips. Because when I got to where I'm at now, none of these kids put clips on anything. Dude, kids are doing hang cleans and, you know, 10-pound weights are flying off bars. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Like, put the clips on. And they're like, well, look at the clips. Look at the clips. And they're freaking, there's more rust on them than, no wonder they couldn't get them on. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah. But then I saw it this morning. I'm like, shit, dude. Like, someone corner to market. Like, there you go.
That's great. That's great. That's
another one of those coaches that figured out a problem and was like, went to the freaking, you know, whatever teacher in the building and was like, hey, dude, how do I do this? You know, like,
put a magnet on it.
Put a magnet on it.
Did you see what AI thought we looked like? Did you see what AI thought we looked like?
For what? I didn't see it. Did I see it? Maybe I didn't see it.
I tagged you, but I guess you didn't see it on Twitter. I posted I'll show it right here. Hold on.
Hang on, let me see it.
It's hilarious.
You know how it is, dude. I think it's so funny.
Image, you know, without doing the work. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
I was like, can AI please just take our images and put it on to
whenever because listen, we have I will say this, Dave.
That's what it thinks we look like.
Oh, that's amazing. That's hilarious. Dude, that's hilarious.
You look all right. I think you look pretty cool.
I'm laughing. I've been laughing these last 3 weeks because we probably have 4 or 5 different photographers on the sideline, right? Like, they're everywhere. So now, you know, they ain't exactly, it's not like we're like lining up to take pictures here. You know what I'm saying? So some of these shots, I'm like, oh, boys, like, you're not allowed to post that. Like, with me, like, come on, dude. Like, but the kids are like, no, coach, we love it, you know? And it's like, it's wild. And these kids, I'm like, man, no wonder these, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's 4 photographers at every game that have nothing to do with actual media. It's just like people within the program taking pictures. I mean, every game, really? There's one lady that snaps like at least like 220 pictures for the program. And it's not just it's football, it's coaches, it's the cheerleaders, it's the band, it's the student section, right? Like, she does a really awesome job with it. And it's one of those things that as I get coaching more and more years, you kind of look back and you're like, yeah, like, some of those images are really cool to have some of that, you know what I mean? From, you know, just memories of that stuff, right? Like, because irregardless of how I personally feel about like what I look like in some of these pictures, obviously that's on me, but for the kids, it's like, man, that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like, that is really cool. I mean, even yesterday we had a freshman game against Warren's crew. And there was like a lady there taking pictures. Yeah, they came up here. A little bit of a rough go, but he's building. He's got some
rough go for you guys or his team?
His team. But he's got some individuals that can play some football. Like, he's got some skill guys. He's got a quarterback that can chuck that thing and run around pretty good. He's an athlete. He's big, man. Not numbers wise, but like big. But I also think he didn't have a freshman team when he got there. So when he took that job, there wasn't a freshman team. They didn't play a freshman schedule last year. So he went and got, 8 or 9 games based off of teams. So he's got a future. There's some dudes there. And like I said, we've been splitting our freshman team in half and playing 2 games a week. Which now for some guys, they're not happy about it because, it's not exactly like we're literally taking the freshman team and one team played Southern this week. And yesterday another team played Absegami.
Oh, you have that many kids on freshmen. That's great.
Yeah, but it's tight.
Okay.
It's tight.
Oh, it's
but,
tight. Okay.
But it's playing time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the argument is, would you rather sit and play kick return, or would you rather actually play a whole game, every special team, offense and defense? You know what I mean? Hard for some of those kids to understand why they're doing that, or parents to understand why we're doing that. But at the end of the day, like, you're getting to play. Wouldn't you rather play a game? So while team is playing, the other guys are, on the sideline in their jerseys, and then the next day they flip and the other guys play and the other guys, stand on the sideline.
That makes sense.
I mean, he's trying to, it's about retention, right? You want all those 30 guys to come back.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, they all get pissed when the scores are a certain way or the wins and losses. Because it's like,
would you guys win?
Or hey,
if
yes.
you played. Oh, okay.
And it's also, kind of like an A and a B team.
Oh, right. Yeah,
why am I not on this team?
That happens at big schools,
get it.
though. In big schools.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you're going to get phased. Would you rather just not play at all? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's good. Like bigger schools, like if you go down south, that's a thing. They have A and B freshman teams and stuff. In Texas, they definitely have A and B freshmen.
The dude that I follow from Texas, right?
Yeah,
like they have A and B JV, they have B freshmen. Like there's 330 kids in the program itself, dude. So, you know, there's black and gold team, or you know what I mean? Like black and gold JV, black and gold freshmen.
They're not used to that in New Jersey, but yes, in Texas, there's a million. There's
probably like one of my favorite years of high school football was freshman year when I got to play, right? Like 3 games a week, right? Now, like rules, obviously, with 24-hour rules of when you can play things were different back then. But, you played a freshman game on Friday. You played a little bit of, you played like a quarter of varsity as a freshman on Saturday. And, you played JV on Monday. You're playing like 3 games a week, dude. That was like so fun. You're like playing games. You're not out there practicing. You get to play a game.
Right. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Oh. Listen, buddy, good luck this weekend.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Who do you guys got tonight? Southern?
Heading down to Southern. Game of the week. 3-0 versus 3-0.
Should be great, dude. It should be fun. I think I'm going to go watch RBC North.
That might be ugly.
You think, do you think, yeah. You think North is just good because they haven't played anybody yet?
Mid-North they're playing? They're playing Mid-North?
They're playing RBC's playing Mid-North. At RBC.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, that's a weird place to play.
Like, Mid-North played Howell and...
Howell, not very good.
And then Marlboro. Not very good?
Yeah. I don't think so. Average. But, it's just so weird. Like, I look at it last week. Like, Manasquan was rolling people, and then all of a sudden they lose to Mattawa, right? Like, they let a kid go off for, 5 touchdowns. Like, it's just – the short conference is so weird like that, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like the Publix.
Mattawa is, middle of the road, kind of?
Very much middle of the road. Like, with, I don't know, who's going to show up this week? You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Now, they might go and – there's they have a young kid who played quarterback. He ran around stuff. Who's this kid? But now Manasquan, this is the week all the transfers come back. Guys that have transferred in or whoever, they all come back now. So you're going to see, you might not even need to look at their first whatever games going forward because they're going to be a whole new team with who knows what's going on, right? Because rumor is one of our guys is about to be the quarterback, and the current quarterback now just goes and is an athlete and plays every other position that they could possibly think, right? And then look, even like those two guys we had on our team from RBR, like RBR is like 1-1, but those guys are having like they weren't the ones that went off, but they're still like players. Like, I don't know how you lose with those two cats, dude.
Those two cats are
we another kid who's starting quarterback at Donovan from us. Like shit. Like it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Does Jeter plays? Is Jeter still at
yeah, he's still there. He's a part of that senior class. But the kid that had like a big game for RB, like it wasn't Ari and it wasn't, the Bailey kid. It wasn't those cats. It was some other kid who rushed and caught a touchdown and did whatever. They're a weird team too, man.
Interesting.
I'll tell you, if you want to put your money on somebody, you can put your money on Rumson, like crushing whoever they're playing. Irregardless of whoever they're playing tonight, they're going to beat the hell out of them. Because they're coming off their first loss in God knows how long. They got Marlboro. I'd hate to be Marlboro.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And Red Bag Catholic has Mid-North, like you said, and then next week they go into Homedale. So you just hope they're not like overlooking Mid-North going to a Homedale game.
Old Japan plays Rampo tonight.
Big one. Ramapo up here is I hear Ramapo's the real deal.
Is that what they said?
Yes, sir.
We'll find out. We
will find. It's gonna. Dude, now that's like a really good game to go to. Like if you're like just looking for like
a great
game, always a great game. Doesn't matter. Even like that's gonna be a heavyweight. Look, dude, Old Japan 3-0. 34-14 over West Essex, 35-7 over Riverdale, 41-14 over Bergenfield. Like, they just doing what they do. Riverdale's 1-2.
What's Ramapo? 3-0? Also?
Ramapo, yeah. They're 3-0.
Who'd they beat?
They beat they're 2-0. They beat Irvington 35-0. They beat Ridgewood 52-7.
They beat Ridgewood 52-7.
Yeah, Ridgewood is not very good. Ridgewood is not very good. Even though they're 2-1, but they beat Clifton 27-0, and they beat Montclair 41-28, which is like back in the day, you'd be like, "Wow, look at those!"
Wow, that's huge. Montclair. Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my god, like,
we're unbelievable!"
Like, right. Like, wait, you beat both of them?
You beat Clifton and Montclair.
Dude, you ready? Like Montclair right now is 0-3. Oh my god! And they lost to St. Thomas Aquinas 56-3. They lost to Ridgewood 41-28, and then they lost to Bloomfield 46-21. What? Yeah, dude. It's like Ron Anello is the head coach, dude.
At Montclair?
At Montclair. Jermaine Johnson resigned and walked away. He's coaching at
Who is how's Clifton?
I know, dude. It's crazy when you start looking at some of this stuff, dude. I'm like, wow. Clifton's 0-3
for a long time, but
0-3. They lost to Ridgewood 27-0. They lost to Eastside 20-14. And hang on, this is the killer. They lost to Passaic 13-6.
What?
I know, dude. I know. This week they got Morristown. Good luck. And they play Bayonne, Morris Knolls, Passaic Tech, East Orange. Clifton might not win a game.
Yeah, because
how about this? Yeah, because East Orange. Listen, East Orange was
pretty good.
Passaic Tech with Coach Demmer, that's like stud. Even though they're only 1-2. West Orange played last night. They played Livingston last night. West Orange is wild, dude. The kid who came to one of our showcases as a young pup, Sidney Padilla, like a tight endish. He's got offers out to a zoo, bro. Oh, and he's still a young puppy. Coach Grant, man, he's awesome, dude. He does some good stuff. Even though they
is what's his name? David Moore. Not quarterback.
Yeah, and they're 3-1.
David Moore is excellent player. I remember when
you know who they lost? You know who West Orange lost to? Shabazz.
Did they? I thought Shabbat has a loss though. Didn't they lose?
First game of the year. Shabazz is 2-1. They just they just got smoked by St. Peter's.
Okay.
They beat West Orange 10-7. They smoked Lincoln 57-0, and then they lost to St. Peter's 50-0. Now you know what they have this week? Immaculata.
How's Immaculata? Pretty good.
I think they're 2. No, Immaculata's 3-0, but they've played 2 out-of-state teams, and they beat Petty.
Petty.
I know. Yeah. But look at their their schedule is very interesting, right? Like you got an out-of-state New York team, Kellenberg, New York, Petty, St. Francis Prep, New York, Guayak, Shabazz, Hudson Catholic, Schneider, Lincoln, Newark West Side, and St. Mary's. My God.
They're going to win every game.
Yeah. They may lose.
Shabazz is their toughest games.
Yep.
Wow.
West Side. Good old coach Ronnie Lundley. He's 0-4. Oh boy. How's Coach Jake's doing? He's 2-0. He's got Montclair this week. It's a tough league, man. That league, that division, I should say, within the Super Football Conference, with like Livingston, Montclair, Bloomfield, West Orange, like Barringer, like that was.
Well, there's haves and have-nots in there.
Absolutely, man. But those halves, holy hell! Every week you're like, dude.
Good.
You're like, man.
Is Union City in that division?
No, Union City's in like a Hudson County type division.
That means they're going to.
I think they lost. He's 1-2. He lost his first 2, so he opened up with Pascack Valley. He lost to Pascack 42-19. He lost to St. Peter's 42-15, and then they just beat Bayonne 27-14, and they got Northern Highlands this week.
Oh,
they're 3-0. They beat Holy Spirit. That's a huge win, 27-12. They beat Wayne Valley 21-14, and then they just beat Hackensack 36-7.
Oh.
Hackensack's 2-1. Okay, Coach Wrestler.
He must have beat like East Side or something.
Yeah, he did. He beat Passaic and he beat Kennedy. He beat Passaic and Kennedy.
But he'll win 5 games because he's gonna have 5 of those
100%.
games.
Yep. How about this? Coach Rogers, right, who's obviously worked some of our stuff, was at DePaul. He's now the head coach at Patterson Kennedy.
He did get it.
He did get. Oh, holy God! Do some research. Wow.
Wait. So after all that, he got it.
After all that, he finally got it. Yeah. After all that, he finally got it. He's only played 1 game so far.
Wait. How?
And then he played Hackensack on the 5th, and now he plays tonight. He's going to Wayne Hills.
Oh my God.
Then he's got Dwight Morrow, Barringer, Bloomfield, Passaic, Hudson Catholic. He
Hudson
lost
Catholic,
to Hackensack 43-0.
Hudson Catholic. What's the whole thing happened with?
They're 1-2. They beat Newark Collegiate.
Yeah, horrible.
They lost to Hanover Park 35-18. They lost to Hoboken. Oh my God.
Hoboken?
Hoboken's 3-0, bro.
What?
Beckton, West Side, and I don't know. They beat Beckton, they beat West Side, they beat Hudson Catholic. They got Poly Prep tonight.
They beat Beckton.
Beckton.
Wow.
Beckton's 1-2. Beckton just lost to Butler.
Beckton just lost to Butler. Wow.
Butler's got Saddlebrook tonight, buddy. Big one. Big one down in the brook.
Down at the brook. Butler's playing Saddlebrook.
42-7.
That's your prediction?
Well, Butler's taken, they've put off the throttle the first 2 games. They beat Beckton and Hawthorne 27-6 and then 28-14. And I don't think they've done anything yet.
Hawthorne's probably decent.
Yes. Yeah, they're 2-1. They had beat MKA 42-14, and then they beat Wallington 25-12, and then they just lost to 20-14. They got Hasbrook Heights tonight. Hasbrook Heights 2-1. Their losses to Walk Hill Valley in overtime.
What?
They beat St. Mary's to open season, but they beat St. Mary's 20-16. That kind of scares me. And then New Milford they beat 26-7. What's St. Mary's look
I don't
like?
think New Milford.
St. Mary's 0-3. How about this one?
Mary's.
St. Mary's only lost to Verona 14-8. Ooh, interesting. Hey, our buddy at Ridgewood's doing really good, man. He's 3-0. Carbone. He beat Lodi, Elmwood Park, and St. Mary's.
You mean Woodridge? Woodridge.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, I didn't say that. Yeah, Woodridge.
You said Ridgewood. You said Ridgewood.
Oh, yeah, he's 3-0, 38-0, 51-0 over Elmwood Park, and then 26-16 over St. Mary's. He's got Weehawken tonight.
Okay, Weehawken.
Weehawken 1-1. Park Ridge 1-1.
How
about my buddy at Garfield? Farshid with a 2-1 record, buddy.
There you go. Who does he have on? Who did he beat?
Lyndhurst, Big Rich Torero.
Ooh.
2-1 versus 2-1. Probably a really good game, to be honest.
Lyndhurst has a decent program.
Yeah, Torero. I mean, we've had him on. I went to school with him. He's a Lyndhurst cat. He gets it. Yeah, man. He does. Yeah, he's like, he's that town guy. He likes it. It's fun to see that league good, dude. Like those two, you know what I mean? Or at least competitive with each other.
Yeah, there'll be 5 or 6 teams that'll emerge out of that at least.
Listen,
be good.
Lyndhurst opened up with Westwood. That's a hell of a way to start a season.
What was that score?
They lost 34-14. Then they beat New Milford 24-7, and then they beat Lodi 36-0. I don't think Lodi's very good. Oh my god. Yeah, Lodi's bad. Oh god, yeah, Lodi's really bad, dude.
Oh, really bad?
Yeah, Elmwood Park too. Oh my god, dude.
Maybe Lodi should give it the guy.
Hang on. Listen, one of your former programs, like Palisades Park, bro. Oof.
Oh, they must be. I can't even imagine.
0-2. They lost to Secaucus 41-18, and then they got shut out by Garfield 26-0.
What score did Garfield get tonight?
26-0.
Powell Park is.
What's that? Saddlebrook's 0-3. They lost to Kittatinny 22-13. Lost to Pagoda 34-0. And then they lost to Secaucus 22-13. And now they got Butler tonight. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't been. I barely go to Bergen County anymore. I'm sure you barely.
I know. And same for me. Like I always, but like every now and then. I mean, I still have access to Mount Olive's huddle. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of every now and then I'll take a peek at it. I mean, that league, I'm telling you, dude. Like those teams that those guys play, like, it's a tough schedule. I mean, they're 2-0 right now, and they've blown everybody out. Like, but they're playing Chatham tonight, and Chatham's like all of a sudden.
Chatham's good, I heard.
Yeah, dude. And Morristown is back on the ups. You know what I'm saying? Like
Morristown.
But these are the same. Well, you know who the head coach is at Morristown now? It's Casey Flint.
I don't know who that is.
He's been a coach for a long time. I mean, look, they lost to Summit 14-11. They beat Randolph, and then they lost to West Morris, who's go figure. West Morris is 3-0. Like, go figure. Like,
West Morris is great.
Machine, dude. I'd love to see like a West Morris Ramapo, West Morris Old Tapan. Like those are.
They play each other in the playoffs usually.
Yep, when they get there. Yep.
West Morris usually has a big running back.
Oh yeah, and he wears 32, 33, or 34.
Yeah,
every
he's
year.
Like 6'2", 215. You know, that kind of a guy.
How about this is where I get like, okay, maybe some things are like Wayne Hills is 3-0 again. They've kind of been down. Yeah, they've been down a couple years. Listen, they went out to Colorado. Dave, they went out to Colorado and played a game.
Wayne Hills is 3-0.
Yeah, they beat West Essex in overtime, but that's a new coach, right? That was the guy that was at Hanover Park. He left to take that, and then the guy from West Essex, Benaquista, left, and now he's at Wayne Valley. They put a hurting on Passaic Valley.
Is Wayne
They're
Hills
1-1.
still? Wait, oh, the guy's not at Wayne Hills anymore. The guy who was there.
Yeah, Demnikov, he's still there. The guy that took
Demnikov.
over for Olsen, he's still there.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
I just don't think they haven't been very good the last couple of years. Wayne Valley's 3-0, or Wayne Valley's 2-1. They lost to Northern Highlands.
How's what's his name doing at Indian Hills?
Oh, that's a good question. Who would they play?
Ivy. He definitely has a chance. He's in the Ivy.
Well, they don't play Ramapo.
What's that?
They don't play Ramapo.
No, because they're in that Ivy division. They have like
right.
So he should have a chance in most of these games.
He's 2-1.
There you go.
He played an out-of-state team from New York. He lost 20 to start the season. Then he beat Tenafly 27-0. And then he beat Fairlawn 27-21. And he's got Fort Lee this week.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, look at this. Like, he's got Fort Lee. Then he's got, Dave, Fort Lee, Demarest, Bergen Tech, North Bergen, Ridgefield Park.
Oh, my God. He's going to do good.
Some of these places.
I got them in the Ivy, by the way.
I know, dude. Some of these places.
I wasn't there to coach it, though, but I got them in it.
Of course, but you got them in it.
I was in all those coaches. Bergen County used to have all the coaches. DJ was great with it. He organized
West Milford 3-0.
West Milford 3-0? Yeah, West Milford's not bad. It's the same guy, right?
Yeah, Matt. He was Matt. Like, if you look Matt Sakis at Jefferson, 0-3.
Oh my God, Matt Sakis.
Lost to High Point, he lost to West Milford, and he lost to Lakeland. Lakeland's 4 more players. That's wild. I love that too. Lakeland lost us. Always, dude, always. And even when they're not good, they're like a pain in the ass because they're literally up in it's like a Butler. It's like it's them. Like you know what I mean? Like They lost to Sparta, which is a different type of beast too. Sparta lost to Montville though. Like it's all around. These guys all beat the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Montville's good this year.
Is he?
I think he's good. Yeah.
Let's see. He's 2-1. He just lost this week. He lost to Chatham.
Oh, he
beat Sparta. He beat Sparta. He beat Warren Hills. He'll beat Roxbury. Par Hills, I don't think is anything good anymore. No, they're 0-3 because that guy's now at he's now the head coach at Morris Catholic.
Right.
Roxbury used to always be a pain in the ass. They're not good.
Randolph and Roxbury.
They're not good. No, they're not.
And Randolph's not good.
Oh, Randolph is not good. Well, that's another head coach there too, bro. The guy who's the head coach at Randolph now probably has every record, and take this for what it is, probably has every passing record at William Patterson.
When you coach youth football, it's very interesting. You could tell what the teams are going to be like by what coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not even just talking about talent. I'm talking about attitude.
No. Yeah, you're just talking about like demeanor.
You know what I mean? I feel like if you have numbers and the demeanor's pretty good, regardless of the record, you're probably gonna be okay. But if you have bad demeanor,
yeah, dude, if your approach sucks to it, like I don't know, man. It's tough. That's why one of the Coach Barfield teaching in middle school is awesome.
Sure, yeah, I think middle school football is the way to go. But sure, that's why Shore is the Shore rotates because of the AYF set up by age.
I agree.
So you could have a great team, then a class that's not as good, then a good you know what I'm saying? So you could some of these teams that we've played aren't that good, but their older kids are very good. So it's
because it comes down it comes down to
grade by grade. It's literally
dude, and it's buy-in too, or how much are those guys look, if Mid-North or Mid-South doesn't realize that pretty soon they're gonna have a really good group. And why is that? It's because these kids have been getting really coaching for, you know what I'm saying? Like, as that aspect, you know what I'm
Starting
saying?
with,
Like, because you can, you can directly correlate how good, you know, how good a team's going to be based off of like who their coaches are, dude.
North is good. I don't know, like some of those kids, these kids will go to Procure, but like Joe Grasso's 12U group has 2 teams. He's got like 45 kids.
See, that's and to me, and that's why I like our head coach gets that part. He's like, look, if we have 30 freshmen and we play a 1 game a week, half of these kids aren't going to play. They're going to be like, oh, you know, whatever, you know,
this sucks.
All the other shit. Like, this sucks. I don't play. Who cares? I'm not going to do it. And then next year you have 15. And now, you know, our roster of like that 45 starts to dwindle every year because you're cutting it. At least we have a better shot if they're playing, right? Because we can talk them through that as to be like, hey, understand, like, this is
my
why. All that kind
always
of shit.
was like 30 times 30
Numbers.
times 30 times 30 is 120. You have 120
Thank you.
in your program, 90 on varsity. You are going to win. You're not.
I think too. Yeah, 100%.
Remember how we brought
numbers,
in at Red Bank we brought in 45 freshmen
class? Oh my god! And they're like, "What are you guys
there
doing?"
was nobody
like,
left.
This is like
once we were gone. 45 freshmen, dude.
And then look at that class when they graduated as seniors. What was there? 10.
We had 10 or 11 kids just from Union Beach.
I know.
You had a class of kids just from one place.
I know.
Because I went there and spoke to the kids.
You went to every middle school, charter,
everyone.
Regardless, like, and then look, dude, we were in the hallways, like, dude, we were in the cafeterias, like, guys don't understand that. Like, Beach, you have to, dude. That's what it is.
The guy gave me the gym teacher gave me the whole entire grade.
Yeah, here you go, buddy.
Kids, and I spoke to the whole grade, and because I think some of those kids go to Keyport, maybe I can't remember.
Yes, it's Keyport. Yep.
And there were kids that still went to Keyport. Like, there were kids like, I'm going to Keyport. I don't care what you say to me.
And it's like, that's fine.
35 out of the kids, 35 kids actually filled out my form. I couldn't believe it. I was hoping to get like a couple of kids. 35 kids fill out the form. I was like, oh my God, 35 kids.
Look, and look, we know how it works, right? Because with camps and showcases and all that stuff, like, dude, you have to get, like, if you want 10 to sign up, you got to talk to 100. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to, like, that's what you have to do in order to get.
I had 80 names for that freshman class.
Yeah.
40 something only came out. I had like 80 something names. So it was that's how you do it, dude. Like,
you have to, bro. I don't know another way to do it.
I did that at Saddleback. I did it at Powell Park. I had a lot of success because obviously there was but like, dude, I would just, and they didn't give me a good environment to get the kids.
No, dude, you were working from like behind the 8 ball.
But Farina, I said, Farina, you drag them in.
You got to do this. Yeah, dude. Every kid that wrestles. Yeah, dude.
I don't care if they're going to Bergen Catholic, Paramus Catholic. You just
get them in here and let me talk to them.
Come sit and hear.
Right.
Dude, I remember Charles Simons, who ended up being the year with the state championship.
Stud! St. Peter's.
St. Peter's? No, he played at like a D2 NAI school. So Charles was at Bergen Catholic, and
came back.
He said to me, "Coach," I remember I was talking to him in the locker room, and he said, "Coach, I don't want you to waste your time. I'm going to Bergen Catholic. I'm never coming back. You know, his older brother was playing for me already, and he's like, I'm never coming back. You know, and I would go to his middle school basketball games.
Yeah, dude. You're like, hey, buddy.
He'd be like, how come you keep coming to the games? I'm like, I just wanted to see, I just want to watch the kids. I just want to watch you guys play. I enjoyed. I wish I had more time to do that. I enjoy.
Right, because, but now you got a wife and a kid, dude. Like that's like like it's just. But that's
I
the
love
that's
watching
part,
them play
dude.
basketball. They were great. They were great basketball players in middle school, and
that shit's exciting. Look, that's not like going to one of these like middle school whatever games, and you're like, oh my god, this is brutal. At least with hoops, you could see some cats like, regardless of what it is.
they were really good. They were really good. And
so funny.
they were really good.
I
They
love
would
it.
get up and down the court, and then then his junior year he wanted to come back, and
like,
I was like, wow, that's like I would have never thought it. And you know what? If I didn't talk to him, have him sit in a meeting, watch his basketball games, and I didn't watch it for that reason because there was other kids on the team that were coming to me that were playing basketball in middle school, and but I would watch him, and I was like, wow, that kid really is he's a really good athlete. Like
you're like, wow, he really is what we were talking about.
he only lacked big time speed. That's why he went to NAI Division II, not the NAI, Division II, and he just lacked big time speed, but he was just a fantastic athlete. I've never seen to this day. He was our third quarterback, okay? But in the semifinal game against Cranford, I don't know what got it. I put him in, and he freaking ran for 250 yards. And they had the Division I player, and everyone's like, "Where's that kid going?" I'm like, "He's probably going to like Division II too." But he was just awesome. He struggled in the championship game because Summit like really came after him, but
because they came after him.
But he ran for 250, dude. It was crazy. We ran for like 400 yards in that game. It was. I've never run before or since wild like that. That team just ran the ball, man, and we could throw, but when they got rolling running, it was just like they loved it. They just loved it. Whether it was the QB running, we would use random guys like sophomores that were linemen as fullbacks, and we'd rotate them in. We'd rotate him in as an offset fullback and just snap it to the QB, and he would just kick out, and we would like kids who weren't even like playing. You know what I'm saying? They were like backups. Yeah, and they were their job. I said, your job is just to blast the defensive end, and they would that's it. And then they would come right off the field after they did it, and then they go back in.
Like, coach, I got him.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. It's good. And this week we got we play Freehold, youth wise. We play Freehold.
Go get him.
Go get him. So good luck tonight.
And, we'll talk after.
You got it. Go get Southern, and if you win, go right to the beach. And oh no, you gotta get on the bus.
Be a really big one if we do. You know what I mean? Now, look, they're a really good team. They've for a long time, but if we get this one, it's different. That'll be a different one. This will be one of those like, woo.
You must be as big as them.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I saw your alignment.
But like we have big dudes. But like there's a lot of like really good matchups, right? Like we have a really good lineman. They have a really good. We have a really good quarterback. They have like a really good like DB, right? Like they have just like it just matches up really well. I just don't know if like we're on that level of, when things go awry, what's going to happen, right? Like what guys are going to show? Is it going to be all right? 100%. I think that's what it's going to be it's going to be like, punch after punch after punch. And we kind of just go from there,
Who can weather the punches?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well,
all right, man.
Luck. Have a great
You too, buddy.
day.
Talk to you later.